Hello! Hi everyone. What's up? Guys, for the first few people in here, I want to share something personal. I got no sleep last night. I don't know why, I just could not fall asleep, dude. I know, bro. Honestly, today has been like one of those days where, you know what? Where everything kind of feels like you're in a blur, and then you're kind of just going through the motions. And dude, I was also like really laughy and stuff. Like I was just laughing at everything I was doing today. Like, dude, I'm not even gonna lie. You may notice something's missing behind me right now. I was redoing something and I fell off a step stool because I'm so tired. And I sat there and I was like giggling because I was like, what am I doing? But yeah, one of those days, man. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I think. I don't know. I just, oh man, I was so tired. I feel like there's a window of about an hour where if I don't fall asleep, then, dude, that's literally what happened to me last night, man. Seriously, dude. And it got dude, I know, and it did get the drop test. I worked out today and then cleaned my garage, picked up my skateboard for the first time, what seems like forever. Dude, honestly, the skateboard sounds fun. The working out, not so much, but the skateboard sounds really fun. Did you go on a little, I guess, was it nice outside? No, I landed on my foot, like, kind of rolled my ankle. Thankfully, it doesn't hurt or anything. I just did some walking around, so. Let me drink some water. I haven't really spoken much today. I fell asleep for about an hour. Or sorry, I fell asleep at about dinner time, then I woke up. Now my sleep schedule's all wonky. That's not fun either. But yeah, do you guys see something missing behind me? It's clear. There's no stand anymore because I'll take a picture and show you guys. Actually, did I take a picture? Let me see. Yeah, dude. This is like the nicest change of the setup. This is literally the nicest change. I kind of took a picture, but it's not that great. This is what it looks like. It's not super great, but that's how it looks like now. So it's this metal pole basically that compresses. Hello? That compresses in between the two cabinets, and now it allows for the camera to be hooked up there. Dude, honestly, kind of like a shower curtain rod, but it uses tension. So yeah, did I get a new mic? No. Does it sound different? Do I sound weird? Everything's pretty much the same. Looks so good without the pole. Dude, it's like a totally different space. Now I just need to paint this wall, and I'm going to get rid of the light because, honestly, the light doesn't work. I had a feeling this would happen one day. The light just stopped. Oh, dude, I am exhausted today, Burn. The light stopped working. I don't know what it is. So I just got to get rid of it at this point. The plant? Wait, do I sound different? I don't know what I'm going to put behind me. I still want to do that thing I was talking to you guys about. I'm just so tired. The VC voice not stream. Oh, because I use my AirPods on Discord, Jen. You got a Shure mic for sure? No. We hung a phase 1 like that minus the pole being held up by compression. They're grand, aren't they so nice? Also, a phase 1 with compression. Which pole were we using? We're using the auto poles, like the Manfrotto ones. This is one from a brand I've never used before. This is from a brand called Kupo. And I've heard really good things, and they were like half the price of the Manfrotto ones. I do have a really big Manfrotto one in the corner now, but I don't think I'm ever going to go back to regular stands. No, not Mr. Coop. It was Kupo, I think. The plant was load-bearing sound for sure. The plant is still in the corner. I might get something else for here, but I plan to do a whole like shelf system here. But yeah, it is nice not having that metal pole in the background, and now I got some more floor space, which is fantastic. But how was your guys' day, by the way? Today I got my aluminum plate for my Neo 65. It sounds and feels so good with HMX Macchiato. Dude, the Macchiatos are insane. Next is Manta. Can't wait. Dude, Manta, hopefully soon. I'm waiting on some... Actually, you know what? Did Bull message me today? I don't think he did. No. I'm waiting on some last information, and then I will send you guys an everyone ping, but there'll be some new information about the Manta coming out this week, hopefully. So, you should put a cutout of a Canadian legend, Sidney Crosby, in the background. That is specific. How you doing, though, Ad? How's work today? I waited for a package that didn't arrive. Oh my god, dude, I did that the other day. I was so sad. I was so sad. I went on a helicopter ride at work today. Like, what would... I need more information on that one. You can't just like drop that and then be like, yeah, that's it. Why? What'd you guys do? I'm so curious now. Recently finished my Gateron GC60 build with Everglide Sticky Rice V2s. I need to look up that switch. Dude, I swear to God, there's like 15,000 switches. Sticky Rice V2. Oh, they're Hall effect. Interesting. Are these from... Oh, I guess Everglide's a company I've never really tried. Interesting. Do they feel good? Hey, Alex, please pick 2 of these boards to buy. Orbit Round 1, GHS Gem, that is a name I have not heard in a while. JGW Moment, Matrix 8XV313, Dune, the Ray Adamus, or the F1. I'm only picking 2. I would pick my own choices here. I would probably go with the Orbit Round 1. And actually... Okay, I would do one fun one and one not... In one, like, timeless one. I would go with the Moment and the Matrix. That would be my 2 choices there. I would go Moment and Matrix. But, dude, you're kind of making me pick a lot of stuff here, so... Yeah, I don't know, it's tough. The Lay's original of keycaps is wicked stuff, Geoff. Did I get dissed? Alex is using the JJW derivative in the clay colorway with WOB keycaps, the Lay's original of keycaps. I'm gonna change my keyboard just to spite Jeff. I'm gonna change it right now, dude. I'm gonna change it. Yeah, and then also mounting my camera in a different spot now, I can move it a little bit better because it's not limited to just how high the pole is. But look, I don't know why, this just looks better to me now. Like, it's fixed, so I won't have to always change it. I'm so happy. It was such a nice, needed change that needed to happen. It just, I don't know. I'm so happy we got this done. So freaking happy, dude. I'm working at a helicopter company in their IT department for the summer, and they were doing a troubleshooting flight and asked if anyone in the company wanted to go on a plane ride. Oh, that's really cool. Also, troubleshoot flight sounds a little intense. You can see more of the desk? Yeah, a little bit, yeah. You can. And I'm going to swap the lens out for the lens I actually like, not the kit lens. Although, there's nothing wrong with this lens. It looks fantastic, so. Remind me again, which camera and lens are you using at that angle? This is the XT3, which is an XT3, which is an older one, plus the Fuji kit lens. So it's a 16-55, I believe. It's honestly, it's pretty good. I'm stealing that kit lens. I mean, you know what? I have to admit, like, it's a pretty fantastic lens for what it is. It's pretty fantastic. Super crisp for a kit lens, right? Even this is the kit lens too, so it's nice. Just shows lighting is more important. It kind of is. All right, guys, I need to show you guys this. Okay, before we'll get into some chit chat here because it's one of those days where I feel a little bit wonky because I'm tired. So, but I want to show you guys this because I requested this. They showed me a photo and I was like, whoa, what is this thing? And I was like, can I take a look at this and show stream? Dude, first of all, this is deceiving because I didn't realize the box was this big. And also, this is fucking heavy, dude. This is like chunky heavy. So this is an artisan tray that's being listed on KBD Fans. There's one color in stock, which I believe is only silver. Yeah, and there's also an e-beige, which is honestly my favorite. And then they have a black one. It's, from what I understand, it's $69. When you pick this up, like, dude, when I show you guys this looks way more than 69 bucks. So first of all, the art on this is really cute. Yeah. Really, really awesome little art on this. Look at that. Pretty cool. Also, hi, Apiary. How you doing? 69 bucks. Nice. Yeah. Here is the tray. So let's move this out of the way. I want to put this on my desk, too. This is heavy, dude. This thing is a giant... Dude. It is a giant chunk of aluminum. Like, it is huge. That's why when I picked up this box, I'm like, what the hell did they stick in here? Did they put like heavy artisans or something? Big back? Dude, it is huge. Can we get a weight check? I still don't know where I put my scale. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Okay, I'm gonna put the feet on this, and then we're gonna put some artisans on, and we're gonna display this. For the price point, I think this is insane. I think it's 4 kilograms. It's 4 kilos. I mean, honestly, I believe it. It's that heavy. My little brother's gonna be joining me and my dad at our hospital, so now we got people in multiple departments. Maintenance, my dad, admin, me, and now housekeeping, my little bro. We've been dealing with people accidentally sending emails meant for me to my dad, so now we got to deal with another person receiving emails. Are they just going by last name or something? They better be good for artisans or I'm judging. Yes. So, I have a little experience with artisans. So this isn't just me taking a look at this and showing it off. I also wanted to see how well this would seat artisans and not damage the stems, because for all my resin-loving friends, it is... Ooh, this is a cool angle, actually. Oh, that's nice. Dude, this has a silicone tray in it, which is removable, I believe. You can just take this out. I'm pretty positive. Yep. You can take this out, so you can clean this, do whatever you want. Not gonna lie, I took a slight look at this before. I didn't take out the glass thing. So this is nice already. So this is a super, super lovely feature, and it just presses back in when you're ready to go. The stems, and I tested this already with a bunch of artisans, the stems won't get damaged on this because the silicone in the middle isn't even tight at all. So this is silver. Yeah, this is silver. These just sit nicely in place. They will fall out if you kind of shake them up. I had a few other artisans that I tried to put in here where they don't exactly stay put, but some of them do. Some of them stay put. They're not going to slip down. I haven't had that happen yet. But how cool is this? This is cool because it's... I mean, I love the little trays. Don't get me wrong. They're really cute too. Yeah, I'm going to fill it up with artisans right now. I'm going to see if I have enough Pokemon ones. It is chunky. And then the cool thing is... I haven't even taken a look at this. It has a glass panel for storage in which you can put on too. So... which I thought was kind of neat. And then this little lip makes it pretty easy to just take it off. The glass is tinted a little bit, yeah. I wish it was clear. Like, it has a small tint to it. Yeah, that's really it. But how awesome is this? If this had... That was something I saw someone talk about. I do wish they installed some sort of, like, LED around here. Like, that would have been super fucking dope. But that would have either meant it needs a battery or it needs to be plugged in. I don't know if it's for UV protection. Let's triple check, because maybe it is meant for UV protection. It just says crystal clear durable tinted glass. Durable tempered glass. But it definitely is tinted a little bit. And I don't know if that's on purpose. But I mean, they're not hiding the fact that it is a bit tinted on the website. You can see on the website. What if there's a film? I don't think there's a film here. No, there's no film on this. No. It's on KBD Fans, yeah. There's a link in, if you hit !build, I have a link for you guys there too. Anyways, you don't even have to put the glass on. It's nice. Honestly, I didn't even expect this to have glass. I thought this was going to be a plastic, because I didn't even read the listing. I just saw this on the photo. But it is nice. I like the tint, not going to lie. Yeah, you could like it too. It's all personal preference. I personally don't love the tint, just because I like seeing some of these artisans. But yeah, I'm actually going to try to fill this up with some Pokemon. I don't think I have enough. But for me, the most important part was, is the silica or is the stems going to get damaged? And the answer is no. The stems should not get damaged at all because this is silicone. There's nothing actually here to damage any of the stems, which is great. Hold on, I gotta get more. I'm excited. I am very, very excited. Dude, KBD Fans has been dropping some crazy stuff. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, the price point of this is what had me the most interested. I think, which is a good thing. I expected something totally different for 69 bucks because I've seen other artisan trays be like $50 or $60 and you get nothing at all. So this was kind of like a fun surprise to see. Rip shipping? Yeah, it's heavy, so this is probably going to cost a few dollars to ship. Probably. I don't know if I have enough Pokemon ones, although I hope so. Shipping's brutal if you're in the US, considering a GB with other people. Yeah, you could do that too. With shipping, it's 120 in the US. Check if, I wonder, does Divinity have them? Because Divinity sometimes carries... Maybe not. I'll ask the rep if anyone else will be carrying them. I highly doubt it, but I guess I can always ask and see. 150 CAD through AliExpress. How much is 70 USD to CAD? How much is that again? Okay, I don't think I have any more Pokemon ones. I think I'm all out. Ah, damn, I'm missing 4. I wanted all Pokemon on this. So, in the meantime, I will put... Oh, I got one more here. Nice. I have a Gengar, but it's not the same type. Okay, so what I'll do is this. We have the Great Ball there. Oops. And then I have this little Gengar guy. I wish I had more of these. I gave so many of these little Gengars away. And I'll put 2 of these koi fish ones. My little koi fish resin on the sides. Actually, I'll put Gengar up top. Word of the wise. Don't buy it with the intent of filling it up. You're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong. What's the built board? The derivative. Dude, I love this. I love this. This looks great. I love this thing. I'm going to keep this on the desk. Now I just got to decide if I want... Oh, hell yeah. That looks sick. Can we get a close-up? Yeah, for sure. Here, I'll kind of do one of these. And then I'll show you guys from this angle, too. Although I probably should put the glass on just to prevent dust from getting on things. Hell yeah, dude. Has a little badge on the back too. I love this. This is great. Fucking heavy, dude. Holy smokes. I don't know if I should keep it there or not. I think that's a fun spot for it. Yeah, if this had LED in it, this would be super sick. I'll put the glass on it for now. It's still visible. I can still see it. Like, everything's still nicely visible. It's not crystal clear. I do wish this wasn't tinted, but I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. Nice iPhone 5. Oh, it kind of does. Low-key, it kind of does look like an iPhone. Well, that's cool. I'm really happy with this one. I really, really am. This is a cool one. This is one of the more interesting things that KBD Fans has kind of put out. The glass low-key ruins it. Yeah, I'm in agreement with you guys, by the way. I do think they should have went with either a thinner piece of glass or just something that was crystal clear, because, like, this is definitely tinted. There's no way this is not tinted. Yeah, even an acrylic top extra piece could have been really nice. I don't know. But I'm not like highly upset. Like, I do appreciate this is glass and not just cheapo acrylic. You get a lot for the price. So I don't know though. I might take off the glass. We'll see. Or maybe I'll leave it on just to protect it for now. I'm not mad at this at all. I'm pretty sure you can get those like micro LED thingies with a mini battery. You probably could, and you probably could hide it underneath the silicone or something. That would be really interesting. And just kind of display the LED on the bottom over here. So, but I still got one because it's awesome. When did yours already come in, Jen? Can the tint be peeled off? I think we already tried that, and there's nothing I can see that would allow me to peel this off at all. Let me get like a cloth. Let me see. I mean, I'm gonna be real, guys. I don't see anything. Like, there's no evidence of me being able to. No, I don't think so, guys. Speaking of glass, you know what would make the tray better if there was an option for polycarb instead of aluminum? Oh, dude, that would be sick too. That would be wild. G with Jeff and all the. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think there's anything on it, guys. Well, I'm happy with this. I still think this is awesome. Not perfect, but awesome. And a polycarb one would be fucking sweet. I'd pay a little extra for polycarb. You see the PC amber of the agar? Dude, I did see that. I was going through KBD Fans' website today. Actually, I was going through Unikey's website today, too. Can you see it from this side, too? If I zoom out a little bit? Okay, I kind of like that. That's kind of nice. Hell yeah, dude. Although I think my camera's a little crooked. I need to fix that. That is very, very cool. I love that, bro. That's sweet. Must resist artisans. Yeah, I know. It's dangerous. Super, super dangerous to get in. Clean? I know. I'm super happy with that. I haven't felt this good about like a little desk toy or tray in a little while. This feels super, super clean on the desk. Love that. Love that. Alrighty. Well, that made my day a lot better. I've been having a pretty good day. It's just I'm sleepy as fuck. Alright. Now, on to what we're going to look at. So, I want to say a few things. Last time I looked at a Unzi board was out of popular request from a bunch of people requesting it on YouTube. And it turned out pretty good. Like, I'm not going to lie. I liked it. It was a pretty good price point. This is no different. Take care, dude. This is no different. I think this is a pretty solid price point from Unzi. Like, I cannot complain. It is $110 US. You get a full kit here. Last time I really enjoyed taking it apart and modding it. And you know what? For what you're paying for here, it's not that bad. How is that an 80? I don't understand the namesake here. This is clearly a 75. I don't know. I don't know why they're calling it an 80, but it's okay. Plus 5% for the screen. Yeah. Unzi are great intro boards, and they also have some decent higher-end stuff. Yeah, I really enjoyed last time when I was able to just take it apart and then just get going. But I think this is pretty good. I'm always happy to take a look at stuff like this. They did send this over, so this is going to be sponsored. However, that's not going to be, just because they gave me the board to keep doesn't mean this is going to change in my opinion on anything at all. If it's garbage, I'll tell you it's garbage. But yeah. Tri-mode, double shot PPT, which, you can love or keep or whatever. It's going to have a ton of foam already pre-installed on this. And they're saying a custom linear switch, which I did look up. It just seems to be a run-of-the-mill kind of linear switch that they're sticking in here. Gateron 0 switches. Let's see. Let's open up the box here. You know what's funny? You scroll down on the website and it does say 75% keyboard. We know you're desperate for another keyboard. Yeah, I've been accepting keyboards on the low just because I need more to fill up my room. I need more. Bunch of documentation. It's an interesting shape. I'm going to stick that over there because I probably don't need it. Got a little accessories box. Cool. Okay. It did say no accessories are underneath. Please check before throwing away. Bro, I don't think I can get any more underneath this. Maybe that was for an old packaging design or something. We appreciate you so much. Smooches, thank you, Scrubs. Alex's floor is a bunch of keyboards with clear resin. It is a bunch of keyboards, but no resin. I don't have that much resin. I have this and one more tray, and that's really about it. I've gotten rid of all my resin. All right, so here's the keyboard. Here's the shape of it. All right, it has like a nice, oh, that's cool. I would say this is pretty run-of-the-mill when it comes to how this thing looks. Let me open it. Should we do a peel? The rainbow finish is kind of nice on this. Okay, the sticker is really easy to come off too, which is fantastic. It does kind of remind me of a Lumen Key keyboard. Nice. Godson, thank you so much for the tier 1 for 3 months in advance, bro. I appreciate that, bro. Godson, did you... This is really weird because I skimmed through my email previews. Did you send me an email today? I thought I saw something with the word Godson in it. Maybe I'm just tripping. All right, so we do have our little USB. I mean, that's a nice place for it. I gotta give it to them, man. I wish more... I hate to say this, but I also I feel like this needs to be said, bro. I wish more people in our space did this. Like, and I say our space, like the more high-end custom space, like whatever, you know, whatever you want to call it. This is just, it's so handy to have this. Toggles, this that you hide. I mean, I think QK does it pretty well. But even the fact that we get a toggle on the aluminum chassis here, like, it's nice. I don't want to have a dongle just sitting around somewhere. Yeah, exactly. Can you inspect the weight if it's just a PVD sticker under glass? I don't think it's a PVD sticker. I think, well, not that my camera really likes this very much. Hold on. This is, I mean, I have to peel off this sticker too, but this looks like an actual PVD coated weight. I don't know if this is some sort of sticker application here. You can kind of see it right over here too on the little edges. Kind of nice. I'm impressed. Obviously, this is a very simple shape for everything as well. Oh, it's battery powered. I totally forgot about that. Look at that. Wait, that's kind of nice. Hold on. That is kind of cute. I don't love this though. I hate brands when this is a personal preference thing when it comes to visual aesthetics. I don't like the idea of the screen having its own kind of like layer in the aluminum. I've always felt it kind of looks cheapo, but you know, it's not a terrible thing here. You know what's weird? I do love this little black LCD border. To me, that feels a bit more high quality. I do like that. That is nice. The blocker RGB is a cool place to put that too, I got to admit. That is a pretty nifty place. The knob, it's okay. I did read up on the website that they put the knob on a separate circuit board basically, which is a smart move in the long run. So just because it doesn't affect the rest of the PCB when you press down on it. Yeah, the eyes are super cute, cool on this. All right, well, so far I'm liking this so far. Let's read some of the specs. So $110 you get all this. You get a, let's see. Gasket structure, LCD screen, multifunction knob, PC plate, sandwich foam, IPXE or IXPE switch pad foam, PET pad foam. You can customize this and open this up to your heart's content. It is crazy. A 6,000 milliamp battery, which is nice. Okay, and they're quoting with the RGB, you get 36 hours. And then with it off, you get 96 hours. I would say, honestly, out of all the stats I've ever read, that's pretty standard fare. There are some more power efficient ones, like I think the anything running oh gosh, what is that other one called? The one that Canon Keys uses. ZMK. If you're using ZMK, that's way more power efficient. Now, I wonder, are they touting this is QMK via support? This is what bothers me sometimes. This is something I'm going to start bringing up way more now. If I plug this in and it doesn't automatically read in VIA, I'm going to be pretty disappointed. Because what they do sometimes is they make you get a JSON file. So let's see. If I plug this guy in, where's my plug? And let's go to wired mode. Come on, there we go. It won't. Let's see. Let's go to VIA. And no. It does not load up in VIA. So let's try Vile. Let's see. No. Okay, so I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this like with the much love to all these brands, including everyone, including Owl Labs, you know, QWERTY Keys, Wuche, everybody. I don't know how much this means nothing in the long run, but like if you're going to launch a product and you're going to put on the website via support, okay? It better load up in VIA. There's a long story to this, which is they're not complying with a lot of QMK stuff, which means it's not getting put into VIA. There's a long story. You guys can look that up. We've talked about it a few times. However, it doesn't really solve our core issue here, which is these brands aren't complying with QMK, which is annoying, and they're not supplying a file that can automatically load up. So that, if you're going to put it, you better either mean it or just don't put it on the website. Just put QMK support. That's it. The easiest thing to do, wrong button. The easiest thing would be to just comply with the QMK stuff and end of story. That's it, dude. That's it. But it is what it is. Via downloading their JSON. Yeah, just so everyone knows too, you can't, for me, to say via support, but you have to contact them or even download an additional file, isn't good practice. What's stopping them? There's a lot of like hidden reasons why they wouldn't want to do that. But I think one of the core reasons is laziness. So yes, downloading a VIA file or a JSON file to load up in VIA is not VIA compatible. It's just an extra step. The reason why this matters a lot to me is because if I buy this or basically any of these keyboards that aren't VIA compatible, that are VIA compatible but you need a JSON file, what happens if Yunzi or any of these brands decides to not care anymore and not support anyone who has the board? What if they stop sending out the file? Then you're kind of left with a keyboard for a lot of users who maybe won't understand QMK or just don't want to deal with it. They can't customize. So just do it, man. Looks like everyone's questions got a reply except mine. Oh, sorry, Danny, what'd you put? Did you fix the resonance on the Zephyr 1 board? I've been playing around with it the last few days. I mean, for me, I don't know. It just kind of went away on its own. Like, I used it the other day and it was fine. I don't know. It's kind of gone away on its own. The QMK license is the problem. It requires that if you must also supply the source to it. If VIA does not accept it because it does not comply with QMK license terms. Yes. QMK is the core issue. Yes. That's what I was saying earlier. The QMK compatibility QMK compliance. But a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of, I don't want to get into it just because it's a very long conversation and I feel like that's a good convo for another day. There's a lot of reasons why some brands aren't doing it. Some are ridiculous. Some kind of feel shady. Some are just lazy. I think a lot of them are just lazy, to be honest. But yes, it's a big deal to me anyways. But let's go back to the board for a moment. I like the shape of this. It looks nice. I'm going to measure the front here in a second. It has a pretty decent weight to it. I love the toggles on the full aluminum chassis. More brands need to do this, man. I hate having to take off keycaps to find where the toggle is and then use like a tweezer. Just give me something that's on the back like this. Super, super awesome. Good little spot for your dongle as well. Yunzi's doing this right. I got to admit, I wish more brands did this. Like, I don't know why we don't do this. I don't know why everything's hidden under things. Some may argue it ruins the aesthetic of the keyboard. I disagree. I think it's convenient and it's nice to have just hidden away on the back of the keyboard. Plus, you can make these look nice. These don't have to look like crap, you know what I mean? So, I like that. In terms of the rest of the shape of the board, it is extremely simple. We have a box on wedge, the most classic of classic designs. It does look like it's a fairly low front height, which kind of is exciting. Let's see. What does our front height measure today? Oh, wow. That is not bad. I would say about 17.9, yeah. That is not bad at all. Yeah, even the rear, I mean, I don't know what the typing angle on this. Let me see what the typing angle is. I don't remember off the top of my head. That is not bad at all when it comes to front height. Do they even have a typing angle on this? Specs. Bro, why don't I see the typing angle on this? It kind of looks like it's like a 5 degree or something, or a 6 degree typing angle, but I'll have to do some more digging, see if I can see that. It's 90 degrees. Thanks, Annette. All right, so let's do the stock little typing test here. The keycaps look good. They're fine for what you're getting here. And then we're gonna take this guy apart because I want to put in my own switches and stuff, or maybe I'll reuse these switches if they're nice. So let's see what this sounds like here. Ooh, these switches are nice. I can well, they're my preference because they're light springs. Okay, I don't mind the stock sound profile. This is nice. It's foamy, definitely foamy. We're gonna change that around today, see what else we can get out of this. I love these switches. Yeah, it sounds foamy. I love these switches. Holy, hold on. I'm gonna look at one of these switches real quick. What is the spring weight on this? This is beautiful feeling. So these are Gateron switches of some sort. Where is my file here? Let's go back to their Gateron. Where are they? Oh, geez. Too much information here. Gateron 0 switches. Oh, they're 3.6 millimeter travel with a workforce of 45 grams. Okay, so that's why I like these. They're nice and light. Yeah, they're Gateron Zeros. Dude, let me look at one of these. I'm liking this already just because of the price point, man. Yeah, these are nice. They could probably do with a relube. Like, again, to be very critical, and this, I don't think this is Yunzi's fault, but I mean, they could technically step up the game, but I don't know how much they can for $110. The stock lube is definitely there, but it's not perfect. I can hear some imperfections in it. Almost feels like, I mean, this is standard of Gateron to have some of the most weird stock lube ever. Let's open this up. Let's see. Yeah, this looks like standard fare Gateron stock lube. It's on the sliders and a little bit on the legs, and that's it. And the spring looks bone dry. So this probably could use a little bit of a tune-up when it comes to how this is lubed. You may have to take this apart and re-lube these, but honestly, stock, they're fine. These are cute switches though. Look at these. Look at this. This is nice. All right, so far I'm liking what you're getting for the price point. FYI, Unzi has sent at least 2 users who requested firmware sources for this board, a zip file containing some of the files for a totally different board. They insist these are the current files, and they clearly aren't. This sucks, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, this is part of the criticism I meant before. You know what I mean? Like, don't put it on the website. This is VIA, support it. If you're not going to put VIA, I mean, I'm going to message them about that. Not that it probably matters none, but that's a huge deal. That's why I made that kind of speech before. Don't put it on the website if you're not going to, at the very least, put the files up for download somewhere, which is a little ridiculous. So, damn, he does this so much he can tell differences in looping purely based off the sound. Yeah, I know, basically, yeah. First Chinese board I've seen with GATs and not proprietary switches is pretty cool, especially since it looks like the board is on sale fairly often. Not a bad deal. I mean, dude, so far this is not, because like a batch of Gatoron switches, like when you really break it down, a batch of Gatoron switches would probably cost you $35 to $40 on a normal day, at least for me. Maybe Canadian, I'm not too sure about USD, but I think like 35 to 40 Canadian dollars is what I'd normally pay for a batch of Gatoron switches. So I'm happy with this. Next up, the stabs feel really good so far. We're going to open this up too. I just want to check a few things before we do that. Ooh, PBT is hard to get off. Oh my lord. Okay, we'll have to do it this way here. So like 15 USD? I don't know what it comes out to. I think they're plate mounted stabs. Dude, these are like locked in. Oh my god. Yeah, they're plate mounted. Pretty good, pretty good. Dude, again, I'll say this and I'll say this with love. I don't think plate mounted stabs are bad. Oh, these have those little removable silicone things underneath too. I think this is removable. Let's see. Is that part of the silicone underneath? No, that's part of the silicone underneath. Okay.
What's up, Alex and chat? Hope
Hi, Rob.
everyone
How you doing,
is doing
man?
good.
I'm doing great today. I'm a little tired, though. I'm a little sleepy. All right, cool. Pretty decent plate-mounted stabs. Again, I have no quarrels with plate-mounted, man. No quarrels at all. Thank you again, Rob. Thank you, dude. Is this the only board you're doing today? Yeah, we're going to take it apart and rebuild it. I might still use these switches, though, man. These are nice. I also read a comment on video on AL80 earlier mentioning that Gatoron had silent switches called Zero, and they were weirded out that this is also using Gatoron Zero switches, but it's normal linears. I'm going to say this with the most, like, eventually we're going to run out of stupid names for switches. I mean, hasn't it already happened? Aren't there brands who overlap? Like, it's funny that a brand's kind of overlapping itself at this point, but yeah, I mean, we're gonna run out. I'm not even. It's confusing for sure, but dude, there's some ridiculous names for switches. Like, I'm just waiting for the day we get. Actually, someone just said it. Bear just said it. We're gonna get monitor names for switches soon. We're gonna have like, this is switch QD 4459 XW 45D soon, and then it's gonna be ultra confusing. So we're gonna run out of names. Switches are too often being released, and I don't have confidence anymore. Bro, you got the beast on GTX RTX 1090 Ti Supers? Dude, for real at this point. Alright. Okay, in its stock form, just want to say it here before we take this apart. In its stock form, with the exception of my little rant about VIA and QMK. Cool. Let me just take a look at the screen. Actually, let's just turn it on. Functionality-wise, I like the little boot animation there from Unzi too. That's cute. Looks like we have a Bluetooth. I need to attach this to something. I guess let's just go like this. Let's boot it up this way. We have some like notifications on the bottom over here that can tell us what's going on. You know, it tells us what mode it's in, the time, battery level, day. Is it accurate time? No, it's not. It's I mean, technically it's kind of accurate. It's 3 hours behind right now for me. But I'm not sure how it gets its time. Maybe you have to load up a program or set it yourself. But oh, it looks like it goes to sleep here. It has a boot animation. Cool. I mean, it's totally fine. I don't know if you can customize this any further without having to do that yourself. I think it is a... See, here's the thing. Can you even do that in VIA? I'm not even sure. I've never seen that, but it is a GIF image display. How to do that might be in the instructions. We'll take a look later. But function +9 should show a picture. Let's see. Let's see if that works. Maybe they require you to just like load the keyboard in. Oh, I think I was holding function. Let's see. Let's just go back to off and on here. Let's see. Just some app you need to DL, which they don't directly state on this, which is also a little annoying. So there's the eyes. So there's the picture is literally just the Yunzi. Okay, so you can toggle between a few things. Interesting. Just gonna be completely honest with you guys. If this didn't have a screen, I wouldn't care. It's not really, to me anyways, I don't think it's like a huge selling point of the keyboard. But it is nice to have some heads-up display on some stuff, I suppose, and have some level of customizability. Would I install an app for this, though? Absolutely not. I would 100% not install an app just to change things on this. So, however, again, for $110, neat that you get something like that. I'm not even going to complain. All right, let's take this apart, shall we? How do you type space? Well, I took off the spacebar to look at the stabs. Now we're going to open this bad boy up. I got some fingerprints on it already, but nice, cool. Very simple shape to keep costs down, obviously. We'll take off that sticker later, too. And let's tear this open. You just got the lubed treatment by Alex. For which? What happened? What? Huh? What bit do I need? I rammed Schmore? Compliment? Oh, wait. Oh, God. That's terrible you guys said that. But honestly, maybe I did. Schmore wants a compliment. I want some... Oh, fuck. You're going to hate. I want some Schmore of you, buddy. Love you, bro. I would never Rama you again, right? Never. Never, ever. Unless that means taking you out in my McLaren paid by my my group buys, you know, that I didn't ship out. That would be the only thing that I would do in that sense. Love you, buddy. I hope you're having a great day. Sorry. No changing what the screen does without firmware or installation of said app, unfortunately, which is a bit of a bummer. Not that I expect some of these boards to even have that, but would be nice. Manta Day yet? Not yet, unfortunately, Naveed. We're working on it. We're working on it. Oops. Just stopped in a bit for jiu-jitsu. Ooh. Oh, God, these screws are in there. Hopefully your class today, or I guess your session today, goes well, my friend. Time to go, though. Have a good one, bro. Take care, friend. Oh, they got a little bit of Loctite at the end or something on these. Nice. So you know they won't fall out during transit. You know what? I definitely thought this was going to be ball catch before I took a look at it. When they mentioned it. When they mentioned... So the reason I even came across this board was because Yunzi was talking to me about some other stuff. And when they mentioned this board, I went to go look at it, and I was like, "Ooh, this is cool." And I remember people asking me about this board. And I thought this would be ball catch when I loaded up the page. But I'm pretty surprised it's not. But also, I'm surprised and happy that it's not. I know people really like their ball catch systems, but I kind of don't really care for ball catch systems anymore. There's too many drawbacks and negative things that you could technically encounter. Little insight, though, if you guys want some fun information. I actually sat down and spoke to some designers and even some manufacturers about this. There is a lot of really there's a lot of really cool things you can do to make it less likely the ball catch system will screw up, but it costs a little bit more. And then according to some of the manufacturers, the cost outweighs a lot of things. Like, it's just not worth it for a lot of people to want to install a good, properly done ball catch system. But apparently there is some really good ways to go about it, including some ways to isolate the ball catch system as well. So it just seems like a lot of the ball catch systems maybe we've encountered happen to be quickly built type thing. Does this have a screw or just a pull-off one? I think this might be a pull-off one here. There we go. Perfect. All right, and we have a gasket system here. And it with my full Gubby name again. That's crazy, bro. Ooh, a nice green PCB. Oh, it's flex cuts. Oh, damn. I'm a little bummed about that. But you know what? It's fine, because I'm assuming most people will probably put a piece of foam or two in this. I think I'm going to remove the foam in between. Although I did like the way this keyboard sounded with the foam. I'm not even going to front with you guys. I did like it. Ball catch is nice for people starting out who rebuild their boards a few... Yeah, I agree. Not so great for us old timers who pretty much know that we want... Yeah, I agree with that. All right. Yeah, ball catch is great for people who are just kind of self-discovering in that sense. I agree. So, we have this nice little cable over here we're going to yoink out. We're going to try to yoink it nicely here, though, because this is quite the cable. And then, what do we got underneath here? Oh, this is nice, too. So this is a nice touch design-wise. This little piece of silicone here would be right underneath the rotary encoder. This is nice. I don't really get to see this too much in like cheaper boards because this little piece will stop it from bottoming out and sounding weird. So that is a nice little touch to have there. Okay, Yuzi. All right. And we got our batteries underneath here, which can kind of also double up as, you know, kind of like a little weight system going on. Obviously, we have a proprietary daughter board here. It makes a lot of sense. And yeah, we got some 2 batteries over here too. Cool. Very, very neat. And I would assume to get to that weight, which these are stuck with some tape, but to get to this little thing underneath, you probably need to take these weights out, or these not weights, these batteries out. I'm super excited for my Neo 80 because one of the main reasons I bought it was because the ease of use taking it apart. Since I like changing things around. Yeah, I mean, dude, I think that's a huge selling point for a lot of people. I like it too for that reason. I think in the long run, it's a part that can fail. And I think for me, if I'm buying something, I kind of want to stay away from parts that can fail. Or the least amount of parts that can fail is ideal for me. Actually, the ball catch on the Neo 80 is well done. The Neo boards, admittedly, have pretty decent ball catch systems. But even Neo has kind of strayed away from using them. All right, so we do have a flex cut PCB over here, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it is what it is. I would have loved, I think this board would have, again, this is a preference thing, so please don't take this as something definitive. There are some objective things we can say about flex cuts in both pros and cons, but I think the majority, at least that I know, at least people here, I think a lot of people will have the consensus of it doesn't matter for this price point because you're going to get a lot of foam anyways. But I think for someone who likes to really go down and experiment with all the ways you could build something, this is a bit limiting. So I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. I'm not angry or upset or anything. It's just a limitation on some of the customizability. But it does look like, oh, that's interesting. So that's actually a really smart idea. So the LCD, to make it easier to install, dude, hold on. This is a really smart idea. Hold on a second. 1 second. Let me turn my music back on. Where's my music button? This screen is part of the plate. So this is what I love about looking at stuff like this, because it really shows us like some like moments. I would have never thought of something like this. A lot of the times when we get screens and keyboards, they're kind of like awkward to install and stuff like that, because you got to like attach it to the top over here, and then you got to like, you know, put the plate in and fiddle with things. This is a neat way to implement this. You just have it part of the plate. So there it is. Oh, you bought some campfire audio? Which ones? That is a neat way to implement it. There's been a few interesting things about this board so far. Cool. Alien Brain? Which ones are those? I just don't get the per key flex cuts. Like, that's like super duper overkill. Yeah, like I guess from a critical standpoint, which again, I feel like this isn't even objective. This is just critical on my preferences, or maybe critical with foam. You don't technically need to have flex cuts on the PCB with this much foam. Like, it doesn't make sense. So, yeah, like I don't get it either, but again, it is what it is, I suppose. And then our gaskets are these little silicone gaskets we can take out and remove, so that'll be interesting for some customizability too. But there looks like they're pretty standard fare hardness. I would say maybe close to like a 50 or a 70A hardness. Pretty neat. Can you send me a link, Multi? I kind of want to look at them. All right, let's take this apart. And I'm going to take out some of this foam here. Wrong bit. Interesting, interesting. So they're doing, I'd say like, preference-wise and objective-wise, I think they're doing a lot of things right with this board. Again, I'm trying to be as critical as possible here, but also remember that this board costs $110, which I think is a pretty good deal for an all-in-one kit. Believe it or not, though, if they had given me this with no PC, with no switches, no keycaps, and no stabilizers, and told me this was $110, and like packaged it as a DIY kit, low key, I would have been like, this is still a good deal. I think getting the extra stuff here is really, really nice. Oh, two more screws. Yeah, you can post it here, Multi. I feel like flex cuts are also overcomplicating the PCB design. Yeah, I mean, it could technically overcomplicate it as well. Your traces have to be like very, very different in that case. All right. Let's take off our keycaps here. This is a Yunzi board, yeah. Dude, I'm kind of shocked by this. I don't know. How are you guys feeling? Like, I don't know if this is going to be for anyone here, or maybe it is. Who knows? Maybe someone's like, "Fuck yeah, I'm going to pick this up." But I'm kind of shocked. Does this PCB actually? Does this have plate-mounted stab capability, or PCB mounted stabs? No. So that is one of the downsides of this. Again, I still am a firm believer that there's no downside really. Like, you can get plate-mounted stabs to be just as good, but it is nice to have the option. And I think going back to, I think Rob said this, because of those flex cuts, you're kind of limiting yourself of what you can really do with this. So that's part of the reason why, you know, now it's kind of like, oh yeah, we can't add these little extra features because we've cut a bunch of holes into the PCB. All right. The keycaps themselves are, I'd say, standard fare. Like, these are nothing crazy good, nothing crazy special, nothing crazy bad. They're just in the middle. I think most people would be happy with these. Most people probably would. The display in the plate is interesting. I think that there's a few things they've done on this keyboard that make it really nice. They are double shot, it looks like. Yeah, they're double shot. I'm pretty positive. Let's triple check on the website. But they do look double shot. Double shot PBT, which, again, double shot, at $110, way better than getting die sub. They all seem to go for the same sound. Yeah, typically they're all foamy. I mean, listen guys, again, we have to be very understanding. Everyone here, I'd say maybe mostly everyone here, maybe we have different sound signature preferences, but a lot of people in the hobby that are not vocal and not on the streams and not on even my videos, they like foamy sounds. I've talked to a few people, and this is sort of recently, who have never even looked into custom keyboards. And the one sound signature that they always say they really want is creamy or thocky. So it is extremely popular in North America. And actually, just like William said, in Asia, it is insanely popular to have the foamy sound signatures. I think the clackiness is kind of it's kind of like a weird subculture that we've kind of got into. I'll do that, Gran. Hell yeah, dude. I mean, dude, I like it too. It's not bad. I just personally believe that my ears get kind of fatigued a little bit with bassier sounds. In Portugal, everyone wants silent switches. Is that right? I mean, the sound signature of this sounded really good. The stabs were excellent. Yunzi so far has knocked it out of the park with most of this. There are some nitpicks I can make about the PCB, but I think the only negative / annoying thing / thing that I wish they just take off the website and stop advertising it as, because it's false advertising, is via support. That is very, very bad. Are we the baddies? Honestly, Marcia, sometimes I think we don't have good sound signature tastes. Hi, quick question. Is there a beneficial reason to solder the board yourself versus hot swap? There are some pros and cons. I wouldn't say it's definitively the best thing to do, but let me go through it. Some pros of solder: you typically get more layout options. Your board doesn't suffer from some of the same things as like a hot swap would, which could be the slots, like the pins, the little pins that close in on or the little contacts that close in. They don't wear out over time. You can go plateless. Some people argue it sounds different. Not better, not worse, just different. But the big thing is just customizability and a sense of accomplishment, as well as, less of a chance of failing than hot swap. Hot swap, on the other hand, you get to take out things. Get to swap out your switches to your heart's content, try different plates out. However, you could technically damage those hot swap sockets, and repairing them yourself if you don't know what you're doing can be a bit daunting and sometimes even just very tough. So, some people, Alex, for like 6 months. Hey man, hey now. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I may yoink these switches right now. I kind of want to keep them in the board. I may yoink these and try these on a different keyboard though. I really like the spring weight on these. I'm probably going to put something else in here for now. But these are kind of nice. This is a fun little switch. I like the color of these too. They're cute. Some people means me chat. I stand by it. Marcia is also one of those firm believers. What switches are these? They're calling them Gatoron Zero switches, but as someone pointed out, there's also another Gatoron Zero switch, but these are linear switches. But they're nice. They're really nice. I'm happy that they come with a Gatoron switch. Hi Frank, how are you doing, man? Gatoron Zero versus Gatoron Zero. Is that really the difference? Just a number versus the full English language about it? The silencer called 0 degrees. I'm sure that's still kind of confusing though, I bet. Frank, how are you doing? Frank, did I tell you I might be doing my first food photography shoot soon for a friend. Any tips and tricks you recommend? I actually already took a bunch of sample shots. They turned out really good. Just some food around here, so I know what I'm going to be setting up lighting-wise, but if you have any cool tips, eat afterwards? Hell yes. We're doing a photo shoot for Chinese barbecue. Don't eat it until after taking the pics. Fair. I'm not nervous for it. I'm actually really excited for it. Like, it kind of feels like a different change of pace. And then also I'm taking some shots that I pitched, which is doing more of a rustic approach to taking the photos of the barbecue and just other dishes they serve, as well as obviously some photos and just a white backdrop. But are you bringing the concrete block? No, I'm bringing backdrops though. I'm bringing some like really rustic backdrops that I picked up. And then we're probably going to do it with some like, I don't know, patinaed bowls, I suppose. In patinaed plates. Give it a sense of like, my idea was, if you guys must inquire here, my idea was actually to do like a, the place is a very traditional place, and I wanted the idea of taking the photos to be kind of like this rustic, almost old school kind of charm to it, to match the new theme that they're going for. So I thought a rustic photo shoot would match kind of like a traditional kind of barbecue place. Hey, Shikigami, you gonna remind me about that, bro? That's crazy, dude. That is crazy you're reminding me about that. That USB-C black cable on your desk was included on some keyboards you bought separately. No, I bought this separately from Ordinary Labs. I don't love how chunky the connector is, but everything else about the cable is freaking amazing, so. If you want some of the nicer ones that have smaller connectors, I think, although I don't know how many colors Novelkeys has. Novelkeys has some of these too now. These silicone cables. So if you prefer to shop from Novelkeys, they do have them. All right, now, question is, how is this oh, interesting. So I just got to remove this. It's a little ribbon cable. Bane of my existence, but interesting. That is kind of cool. Okay, if you ever need to replace this, the downside is I don't know if you... Can you take this out? No. I don't think you can take this out, which is not a bummer. I mean, it is a bit of a bummer if you want to replace this, although I don't know if you'd be able to find the exact same cables and stuff. But it looks like it's either adhered, which you can kind of see from this side. It's adhered, or it's slotted in a permanent fashion around the plastic. I just knocked off one of the gaskets. It's okay, I'll find it later. So, still very interesting to put it inside the plate. I feel like they could have just done a back over here that slides in. Although that might be asking too much for this board. Again, it is $110 and I have to be mindful of that, but still very interesting. I like the idea though. The idea and the concept is spot on. Execution's kind of there, but the idea is spot on for this. Love that. All right, and here is our foams that they include with this. So there's a lot of layers of stuff here. All those things they mentioned. We're going to get rid of all of it. I'm probably just going to keep maybe just the foam here. And then we'll probably remove the bottom foam. But we'll keep this one piece of foam here. Just to see what it sounds like in a different kind of manner. See how much we can customize it. Wrong way here. I think I've realized I hate the ISO enter key. Why? How come? Now, I do want to use some different switches. But a part of me also really likes these. However, I do have some switches that have better lubricant on them, so... I don't know, man. 110 does not sound like some super low price that you keep praising it to be. Seems that the same as all the other $60 pre-build Amazon boards. I don't know if there's any CNC, like, or not CNC. I don't know if there's any aluminum boards for that price. I really don't think so with all the features this has. I don't want to say the majority are plastic or don't have some of the same things, but so far I do like there is not. Yeah. There's like $70 to $80 alu boards. I don't know about a screen. Yeah, I'd have to do some digging for that, but I think the majority would either be partly plastic that I've seen. Like I do explore them every now and then. Again, there might be some random brand that has it. At least Yunzi also is a brand that I've had some experience with, and they've kind of already released things. So also, I don't know how many of those other boards would be wireless. Also have a big battery inside. I think 110 is pretty fair. Again, I know they're advertising this to be 140, but it seems like this is always on sale. Plus, this is, I don't know, I feel like so far it has all the points I'm looking for. Even the front height is pretty damn good on this too. Can't complain. I missed the sound test. Why the swap? Oh, just because I wanted to rebuild it. I didn't want to just like take a sound test of this and then just be like, that's it for me. It's almost never 110 on Amazon too. Anytime I've looked, it's under. For which one, Tap? This particular board? Yeah, I mean, if you guys have some examples, I would love to see. But again, I'm pretty keen on looking sometimes. I don't really see a whole lot of stuff for that price. A lot of the times there's a lot of compromises. All right, now to put this ribbon cable back in, which seems to be the more annoying part here. All right, actually that wasn't too bad. They actually have this little circle in the ribbon cable. I don't know if you guys can see that. You can kind of fish your tweezers through and kind of push it in, which is nice. Cool. Now, you know what? Yeah, let's try some different switches. Let me get a little bag for this or something. Let's grab this. My stomach is growling. I promise I'm not super hungry, but I am a little hungry. Amazon discounts on Yunzi is pretty good. A Lucky 65 is like 50 or 60. I want to dispel that right now, though. A Lucky 65 in North America is not $50 or $60. That is the price of the Lucky 65 in like Vietnam, which is where the board, I think, is primarily sold. To import it here, the Lucky 65 is always going to be about $100+. So unfortunately, this is something I kind of battled with the Lucky as well. A lot of people said I got the price wrong, but I did not get the price wrong. For North America, the price is about $100 for the Lucky 65. So unfortunately, there's just, I don't know, there's no good way to go about that. It's just going to differ depending on region, and I'm basing it off the region that I'm in. I don't know. Lucky is 80 at Kinetic, but still, bare bones. Yeah, it's bare bones as well. Though I think the Lucky has like what, one something. If you want to get switches and stuff too. Hi Kiv, how you doing? What's up, dude? Yeah, let's move these out of the way, and I'm gonna grab some different switches. I'm gonna grab some NK Classics. And actually, I know you had said, Monster, that these are bad switches. I don't think these are bad switches. These are actually really good switches for the price that you're getting. Now, I I would try to look at it through different perspectives. We have... I don't know how deep you are into the hobby, but for example, like, I know what I like, and if I was to buy a pre-built board, would I want the switches, even if they're a good brand, would I want a switch that I know I may or may not like? Probably not. I would love bare bones options. I think those are also really, really good. But I think for someone who doesn't know what they want, or someone who's like, yo, like, Gatoron switches, are those good? I think it's actually a really good first switch for a lot of people. Like, again, I love Gatoron switches. I've been a Gatoron fanboy for a little while. Like, I love Gatoron stuff. I don't love their... God, my stomach is killing me. I need to eat something, bro. I'm so hungry. I love Gatoron stuff. I think this particular one, like, Gatoron stock lube is whatever. Like, Gatoron stock lube is nothing special. I do wish they did a little bit of a better job with the stock lubricant. But that's kind of on Gatoron. I don't know how much Yunzi has control over that. But these are really good. Like, I don't have a protein bar. Dude, you know what's weird though, Naveed, is I have dinner around 5:30 every single night. And I don't finish until like 6:30. But honestly, I've been trying to not overeat because I've been doing that a lot. So I eat as much as I think I should, but I always feel like I need to eat more. You have plenty of snacks on the table? I actually don't have a lot of snacks in it. I got half a bag of chips left, and I'm trying to pace myself with that. To be honest with you guys, I'm trying to better myself with some of the stuff I've been consuming. About a month or two ago, I started getting a little bit of weight back, and I just eat a lot. Like, I just eat a lot of, like, junk, and I just eat a lot of, like, calories. So I'm trying to cut back a little bit, but my body's not fully adjusting to that yet. So it's not a bad thing. I actually kind of low-key feel like I have a bit more energy now instead of feeling sluggish from doing that. So original flavored chips, maybe they are, maybe they're not. I'm never gonna tell you guys. Oh god, and it. I'm totally looking at it from an elitist perspective. 100% totally agree. I don't know how I would look at this if it was brand new to the hobby. Yeah, I mean, that's a really interesting question too. Like, how... Who deleted Anna's message? How would we look at this if we were brand new to the hobby again? I think my mind is, when I am brand new to anything, my immediate mindset is, all right, well, I'm new to this hobby. Let's research every little bit that I possibly can about a keyboard or something. So I'd probably look at reviews of switches. I don't know how much... Like, I remember when I first got into the hobby, my immediate thing is go to Reddit, look at reviews of switches. Back when I was new, the switch, the flavor of the month was Zeal Telios. And here's the thing. I bought them. I convinced myself I loved them. They were expensive. And I used them for one board and never used them again because they were so expensive. And when I tried the next switch, I was like, bro, these are nothing special. So I think the unfortunate thing is, unless you get the opportunity to go to a meetup and try a whole bunch of new things, you're going to make a lot of like unfortunate, like, not mistakes, but you're going to go through learning processes. But I think offering, like, from my perspective now, a pretty solid switch with your pre-built keyboard is a really good starting point, knowing that you're probably going to go through a few different switches if you get into the hobby. So I would kind of state my argument. If you are going into something new, like a new keyboard or something like that, getting a good jumping off point probably helps a lot more than just randomly picking switches you're reading online. Because everyone eventually will say a switch is good. Everyone has different preferences. Obligatory Canadian shout out. Let's go Oilers. Is there a game tonight or something? We got that going on. Do like me, I buy samples and I have 400 plus switch samples. Ain't no way, bro. Really? That's crazy. It's a lot. Dude, alpacas were hyped. Everything gets hyped. In terms of like everything else when it comes to the value of this board, I think 110 is totally fair. You're getting extremely good quality switches. Like I said, these alone, and obviously this doesn't equate to much, and this could be a nothing statement if you can argue that too. This batch of switches alone that you're getting with this, being like, again, Gatoron switches, this would probably end up costing you about, we'll not go by Canadian dollars, we'll go by USD dollars. This will probably cost you like 25 to 30 bucks anyways. Like this probably is a fair chunk of money right here if you were to order these on your own. Because I can go right now, and I think probably the cheapest Gatoron stuff is Milky Yellows, but if you get some of the nicer stuff, it does cost a little bit more. They're Gatoron Zero switches, not the silent ones. They're their own switch. They made it for this particular keyboard. That's what they're saying anyways. The keycaps are pretty good. Again, I don't think Yunzi's offering a bare bones of this, are they? I would love a bare bones option, but it doesn't look like they are. They're also offering some other switch too, but we got Gatoron Zeros today. They're not West German vintage black switches though. Sorry, bro. They're not $4 a switch. I did get on MK and a couple other sites and bought like 30 individual switchers, and I was building my second or third board. Yeah, a lot of people do that. I didn't back then. There wasn't a lot of great options. I ended up just buying full batches of switches and trying things. But yeah, like the only other comparable things that I've tried in hand that are budget oriented are like the tests, like we mentioned. The test was fantastic. But again, the test was, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, the test was also bare bones, right? You would have to buy everything for that. The Lucky being one of the more popular ones that I reviewed, which was great, but again, I also think it was, again, the price here anyways is kind of in line with what we're seeing right now. I think just about everything, other than random Amazon brands that I'm not too sure of, and those might have different features or different materials, everything I've seen so far has, this kind of falls in line with everything, and I do like the approach that Yunzi is going here. Again, I don't love the PCB. I wish the PCB wasn't flex cuts. You know, if I was in the market for something knowing I didn't like flex cuts and wanted something cheap like this, I probably wouldn't go with this. But they did a lot of other things really well on this board so far. I think the switches is the most approachable mod for the hobby. Dude, I actually agree with that, Bear. A lot of people probably could just start by modding switches. They really could. The switches kind of blend into the plate here, and I'm here for it. I just do what you do. I'm not original. Damn. I would argue that they low-key should start that way. Oh, which is modding switches, you mean? I agree. I think too many people kind of jump into other mods when they don't. This is gonna sound like pretentious, and I do think that this is the best way to enjoy the modding side is starting with switches. Like, I think a lot of people start by modding like other random things they see online, like they stick a whole bunch of foam in and they're like, why does just, I would say switches. Do your switches first. Learn how to lube some switches, then go to sound modifiers and stuff. Switches and stabs. Do the basics. Nail the basics, then you can go with everything else. You'd be surprised on how much just a good set of switches can change your entire board. You'd be so surprised. I think people care way too much about the sound mods versus how stuff feels. Well, what's crazy too, though, DJ, is like, I would even argue that a lot of the sound modification is part of the switch. Like, if your switches are unlubed and you're putting foam, then it probably still will sound kind of like yuck, you know? Should I take out the foam here just to see what it sounds like? You know what? Yeah, we are. Fuck this. Is it this way? I'm assuming so. Double check. Yeah. Sound equates to feel for a lot of sound equates to feel a lot of times even in golf. What do you mean by that, Oak? Also, Oak, how are you doing, man? This cable's a little funky to get in. There we go. Gotcha. All right. I'm not putting the screws back into the plate just because I don't want to. We're gonna remove some variables here. Learned so much from your OG Switch and Stab Loop videos. Thanks, Alex. Thank you, Own Detective. Appreciate that, man. That is very kind of you. Yeah, it's a neat little keyboard. I want to say thank you for your mustache, and your beard and mustache are always looking luscious and full today. Oh, say think that you're okay, dude. JQ, you're flattering me way too much right now, bro. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. But just a little note, and even if people watch this back on YouTube or back on Twitch, if you guys do have like an Amazon keyboard or something cheap you guys want me to look at and mod and look, I don't know, tear apart, just let me know. I will try to get my hands on it. That's what happened with the Lucky. That's what happened with the first UNZ board. That's what also happened with, I think, the Bridge. The Bridge was also something that everyone told me to grab. But I will do my best in trying to acquire it. Or I'll even just buy it. Sound can impact how things are perceived to feel. Like Gulf irons have a great feel because of how they sound. Oh yeah, dude, that kind of makes sense. Then you have the old school thunk effect like car doors, and they sound heavy and have a deep sound, feels more premium to customers. Yeah, you are right. Sound does, I mean, it's kind of like weight too. Weight kind of also can affect how premium something would feel. Are there any budget 65s other than the test? The only thing that can come close right now that I would say is a pretty decent pickup, despite a few things, is the Lucky. But I don't know what else is available at the moment. Like, I don't dabble too much in the scene. Again, I dabble, but not like a crazy amount. A lot of the budget stuff these days is like 75%. Should we use GMK caps for this too? Should we ball out? Fuck it, we ball? Yeah, let's see what the GMK can do on this. I have a feeling we might need to add the bottom foam back in. I have a feeling. The Eve 65 is dirt cheap. Ooh, maybe is that one I should look at? Also, what did we get inside this? I'm curious. I didn't even look at the accessories. Oh, we got some extra keycaps. And a cable and a switch puller. And some extra switches. Oh, that's cool. It's nice. Pretty standard fare for accessories again. The Alexa? Oh yeah, I mean that one there's on sale. You might be able to get that one there on a pretty decent price too. All right. At the end, we're gonna do a roundup of the board. And we'll try to write down all of my thoughts. Which GMK set should I use for this? Huh. What about Dandy? You guys want Dandy? Dandy could be nice on this. Some green and silver going on. I have a feeling I should just unscrew it now and maybe do it, but I have a feeling I'm gonna want to undo the 2 gasket points underneath the space bar. Hey Alex, Alex chat, do you know where I can get a GPL 106? If not Stupid Bolts, you can check Novel Keys. Maybe they have it. Can I ask what you're using it for, Conan? Is it just for springs? Interesting board for the price. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna write down the Eve 65. Because if you guys want me to pick up that one, I am not opposed to it. Also, why is my monitor this way? There, now it's better. It was on an angle and I noticed it before and I'm like, what is this? Oh, this is from Swag Keys. Interesting. It's plastic, right? Very interesting. What a good day. My cream base 75 and built, or you got it in? Ooh, nice. I didn't know that board was already shipping out. Built it with Gat Smoothies and Winkler and Sheesh. I might have a keyboard showcase submission finally. Ooh, yes, please. I would love to take a look at that, my friend. The cream one was a nice colorway. I kind of low-key wish I got to look at that one there. It's probably like a 105 or something. Sorry, Conan, you're using it for springs? Check Kinetic Labs. They might have oils too. Although, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't bought a thing of oil in a long time. So confused. Perchance. What's up, man? How you doing, bro? These are NK Classic switches. Ooh, Dandy does look kind of cute on this. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. It does look kind of nice. Well, I'm gonna put some of this stuff back in the box so I don't have a bunch of things lying around my table here. Starting to get a little claustrophobic. Ow, I just ran over my foot. No, not yet. I think, from what I heard, the NK Classic switches will be the last to come out when it comes to these new Type Plus ones. I think the plan is the ones I did with them got made first. I think those are coming soon. The NK Classics, which are a little bit brighter in sound signature, because I've tested both of these switches a crap ton now. Those will be coming a little bit later, but if you kind of want something a smidge deeper, then the ones I collabed with them on are going to be coming out. My goal of the ones I collabed with them was to make it a kind of in between, you know, not super deep but not super clacky. Nice and sharp though. They're fun switches. Yeah, they're granite switches. We had to think of a name like on the spot, so that was the name I came up with. I think one of you guys had mentioned granite anyways. I should have made a monitor name for the memes. Yeah, they're full travel. I should have made a monitor name though, bro. Missed my opportunity. So I am going to open this up one more time after this, maybe two. So if you guys want to stick around, love you. Thanks for being here, by the way, guys. I love doing streams like this. I think it's a different aspect of the hobby we get to look at, not just expensive customs, you know? So thanks for hanging out. I think it's important to look at stuff like this, honestly. If we don't, then we kind of get too consumed into what we know. Because look, I saw two really good ideas in this board. More so one, the other one's just a quality of life that I think most customs could benefit from. But seeing this was pretty crazy. Seeing this little integrated screen on the plate. Such a good idea. And I like calling out good ideas like that. Alex should design his own keycap set. It's in my playing cards to do so, just not anytime soon. GMKX Alex? I am humbled that you guys even want something like that, to be honest. I don't know when I'd get around to doing it. Between build commissions and just how many other things pop up, I don't even know if I have the time. A stone and orange set? That was my plan, but there's already a bunch of orange stuff coming out, so I don't think there's a need for me to do the colors that kind of like I associate with. I think I would just do something else, something fun. Orange is super hype right now, it seems. Aether? Oh, I don't know if that one there's gonna get done. That one I am not sure about, guys. That might be a little too expensive for GMK. A little too wild, if I may. Orange for the win? Yeah. Let's see, let's see. Missing a few more here. I think if I was to do one, I would probably pick some colors that I like now. Like, I almost feel like doing... In a lot of ways, don't get me wrong, I think orange is really fun. But I think if I was to design something, I'd want something so that if I ever grow out of the color orange, which, dude, I kind of think I might in the future. Like, I've kind of stuck by it. I love it. I think it's super awesome. But in the event that I kind of grow out of it, I'd want something a bit more timeless, you know? I'm missing my F10 and F12 somewhere in here. I just gotta find them. You know what I mean? Let's see, let's see. Where did you guys go? F10. Burgundiotos. Little Burgundiotos. F12. How would you guys design a keycap set? What would you guys do? I promise I'm not taking your guys' ideas. Just curious. Page up. There we go. Orange on black? Nah. Beige, dude? I know. You know what's timeless is Scout Alexander? My full Govy name again, bro? It's okay. The orange alert. Ooh, beige and the orange alert might be kind of cool. Okay. So, full magenta. So this is the board now with just one piece of foam and different switches and different keycaps. So we have NK Classics with the one piece of foam in the middle. It's definitely really sharp, and I think I want to put back that piece of foam. Yeah, it's sharp and a bit hollow. I have a feeling it's because of the flex cut PCB, unfortunately. Definitely not desirable. Like, I wouldn't build the keyboard like this at all. There may be some who love it. I'm going to put back the foam on the bottom. I don't love it like this. I don't think it's super great sounding. I loved it with all the foam. It sounded great. But I think what's really hindering us right now is that flex cut PCB. So let's put back the bottom foam and see what that does for us. I think if this also had a better... So to be fair, if this also had a better system underneath the PCB, so not just a flat piece of aluminum with the battery components. I think if there was some actual like ridges or just something to break up some of the sound profile, perhaps this could have sounded a little bit different. But we don't unfortunately have that kind of stuff, so let's take out, or let's put back in the bottom foam. Realistically, it shouldn't make it sound crazy foamy. Let's see. should just make it sound a little foamy. And then, you know what I want to do? I want to remove 1 and 2 gaskets. Actually, last thing I want to try here, though. Yeah. Is it a 1.2 mil PCB? Let's measure it. Yeah, it's 1.2 mil. 1.2 mil PCB as well. So 1.2 coupled with the fact that this is the command is wrong. I actually switched mice. This is the WL mouse Beast Max. You can find it on mechanicalkeyboards.com. 1.2 mil PCB plus flex cuts. This is to be expected. I am not shocked, to say the least. Anytime, dude. So I'm not shocked at the sound profile here. Let's put back in this piece of foam. Let's see. Let's screw it together. I think even coupled with the plastic plate, we're probably going to have a plasticky sounding keyboard here, despite being this an aluminum chassis. But I have some criticism to offer. Yunzi, if they would be so inclined, from someone who maybe prefers flexibility with builds. However, I don't want to judge it yet. Let's put this back together. I did remove both of the bottom tabs as well to kind of make the spacebar not as stiff per se, but let's see. Let us see here. Okay. Now, second test. Now we're going to see how it sounds like with the bottom foam. Let me know what you guys think of this now. It's a little bit better. I still think it sounds a little bit too sharp. Even if we switch to a different switch here, let's maybe slap in a long pull switch, maybe an Obscura. Although I don't think it's gonna be doing much here. We have the plate foam put in. We actually do have that already put in. I didn't take that out on purpose. What's the plate material? It's a PC plate. If you go with some long pull switches, let's try with the Obscuras on the Alphas and not a full travel switch. So maybe this board is definitely going to be better with full travel, or so with a long pull rather. So a short travel. G and H. So here's the G and H now with Okay. If you were to go with a if you were to go with a long pull switch, like the Obscuras, or even the ones that it maybe even came with, which are a slight bit deeper, although you do need to lubricate the ones that they came with, I think, because these are hand lubed. I would say it sounds better. Now, it is sharper. I want to take a second, and I want to outline some of the stuff I like and don't like about this, and some of the criticism maybe I have for the board. I will say the spacebar is not bad at all, though. I don't think the spacebar is terrible. I don't think the sound profile is awful. I do think it's something that I probably wouldn't build into myself without using very specific switches, which is, I think it's kind of fun that we got to look at some of these today. Yeah, like with the lubed Obscuras, it's fine. So, okay, let's outline some stuff. First of all, let's talk about the good about the board and some of the bad. Actually, let's start with the bad about the board. Stuff that I think I can criticize confidently. I will say from an objective standpoint, actually, let's just not focus on objective. Let's talk about even some preference stuff. We'll just go about everything I possibly can think of. So some negative things. I really think they, just for the sake of customizability and for the sake of allowing people to explore a board in various different potentials, I do think they may have been better off, even if they wanted to go with a 1.2mm PCB, going non-flex cut. With all the foam that they're putting in there anyways, I think it would have been a better board. Now, it did seem like the the full travel switches are a bit sharper on this board. Even with the long pull, like, it is a bit sharper. Not a bad sound profile with the long pull. I don't really love it with the full travel switches in this. Maybe I just need something a bit deeper. Maybe that's like the thing I need to do here for the board. But overall, not a bad sound profile with no foam. I loved it with all the foam and even the PBT keycaps, though. I think it sounded fantastic. They did a really good job. The stabilizers are really good on this. Really good on that. However, another negative about the PCB, unfortunately there's a few things, is again, for the sake of customizability, I would have wanted to see some PCB mounted stuff as well. Some people prefer it. Some people are hard stuck on the idea that this is, the way. And I don't think it would have been an expensive add-on to just kind of really focus down on what makes a good PCB and how it can be a bit more customizable. This isn't like telling the keyboard it needs a new weight system or it needs totally different gasket structuring. This is like something that I feel is in the realm of extremely possible and keeping it within the same price, which I think is a fair criticism. I don't know about you guys. Another negative, and this one here is the biggest one. On the website, it says VIA support. It is not truly VIA supported. You have to, it seems, a few people here said it, it seems like you have to ask Yunzi for the file. Now, if they end up watching this video or they take some notes from this, my biggest takeaway, because you know what? I don't even think many people are going to buy this to customize the crap out of it. I think a lot of people will be happy with its stock configuration for the price it's worth. However, I do think people will want to get into VIA to customize the damn thing. So, my ask, to either take it off the website and stop selling it as VIA compatible if you're not going to supply the file on the website, or put the damn file on the website. Ultimately, though, my stomach just growled again. Ultimately, though, the big thing here, all right, so the one thing that I think matters the most, just comply with some of the QMK stuff. Figure out how to work with them. Maybe, I don't know who's in the right and who's in the wrong at this point here. Wrong one. But, just work with them for like 2 seconds. Try to figure out what makes the whole thing compatible with VIA and get it working. Get it working so you don't even need to use a file. That should be the core argument here. Obviously, there's nuances to all of this. I get it. But please, and this is for not just Yunzi, this is for literally all the brands that are advertising as VIA support or VIA compatible and not truly VIA compatible. End of story. Some of the really nice things. Dude, this is a great front height. I think most people who end up picking up this board will love how comfortable this is to type on. You know, that's something I didn't really get to talk about too much, but this is comfy to type on, man. I love the typing angle on this. It's pretty low, and I love the front height on this thing. We measured it. It's about 17.9 millimeters. It's really nice. Yunzi knocked it out of the park with the shape of this keyboard. Like, it is fantastic. I love it. Personally, I think this is completely ideally comfortable for me. Another really nice thing, it's a simple shape. I like what they did with the LED indicator here on the blocker. It's a very smart aesthetic kind of way to put in it. I do like the plate having the LCD screen. Makes disassembly of this for people who do want to go and tinker kind of like a non-headache. You don't have to fiddle with a lot of wires. There's the one plug and that's it, which is great. I love it. The exposed screws in the back, I mean, I still prefer these, but some people may have preferred catchball system. I don't think you maybe could have gone with something as low using catchball system though. Perhaps this would have had to be a little bit thicker and maybe that was the trade-off. The weight, or this accent, I should call it an accent. It's really pretty. It's not really serving much of a purpose though. I thought maybe on the inside it would be a little bit more exposed or something like that, but it is covered up by batteries. So this is mainly for aesthetics at this point here. Like, this is, from the looks of it, pretty damn thin anyways. So it's just an aesthetic badge on the back at this point here. And again, it's on the bottom, so who cares? Just have some pretty nice feet, some pretty standard feet here. Love this. More custom keyboards need to do this. And this is more of a shot towards the higher end stuff. Again, you can make this look pretty if this is not your style, but having a visible toggle is ideal for me. I don't know about you guys, man. I don't know how many people here care about the toggle, but dude, for people who use wireless, I much prefer having a toggle on the damn thing. Even this nice little slot here for storing this is handy. Can't complain, man. You really can't complain about that. Everything else is okay. The knob, it's a different silver from the keyboard, which may piss you off, but I mean, it looks like to be a different silver. It seems a bit more shiny than the rest of the silver. Actually, you know what? Switching just the spacebar makes a huge difference on this, huh? Really does. But I think they're doing a lot of things right with this board, but I do think from like a customizability standpoint, and my viewpoint is I'm trying to think of ways to criticize this without telling them spend more money on developing the keyboard. Like, I think that there is valid ways to make this thing like a universal hit without having to redesign this from the ground up. And I really think the main component here is the VIA thing and just getting the PCB to be more of like a universal, you know, universally loved PCB instead of like a one side of the fence kind of PCB. Other than that, man, not with these keycaps obviously, but these ones here, getting double shot PBT with really good switches, that's another positive about this board. I gotta admit, they did a pretty good job on picking things to go with this keyboard. I don't know, and maybe this is a part of another criticism here. I don't know if I'd personally go and, at this point here, I'm not sure I'd build this with anything but long poles. Still a bit sharp even with the Gateron ones. Yeah, I would probably just build this with long poles and hand lube them at this point here. The obscuras are kind of cheating though, because the obscuras always sound very deep. Also, hi Dane, happy birthday, dude. Can we get some happy birthdays for Dane? Pretty please. It's Dane's B-Day. I would say the bridge, how much is the bridge? I mean, that's a really good comparison. Let's plug this guy in and type on it. How much is the Bridge 75 right now? Bridge 75. So the Bridge 75 is... Where's USD? $85. I would argue the Bridge 75. Unfortunately, I don't have it anymore. We gave that away. I liked the stock switches in this one more, but I do still think the Bridge 75 might be the better buy. I do like it. However, I want to stress this because there was different versions of the Bridge 75, right? Hold on. I want to just find a website that has all the different versions of it. Because wasn't there like a Bridge 75 Plus? Yeah, here it is. So nice. Was that a different price? Love you. Love you too, Kevin. Appreciate it, man. $99 for the Plus. Okay, so it's still about $100 for the Plus one. Which the Plus one, I think, was the one that everyone wanted. Yeah. So versus its the standard Bridge 75, I almost want to say I sort of preferred this board. I know it's a bit of a premium, but I think this board here, sound-wise, like out of the box, is better. However, I do think with all the Bridge 75 units, I probably would just go with the Bridge 75. If you can even find one at that point there. Because they're pre-orders. Maybe that's one of the nice things about this, but people were saying you can find this in stock too. This sounded better with foam. By far, I think this is the better foamy sounding keyboard. But the Bridge 75, aesthetically and sound profile wise, I did think you can get more out of it. It did have a better sounding internals. So I would personally say, yeah, my preference would be on the Bridge. Because you do get pretty much the same thing, if not a little bit bigger of a battery, because it's 8,000 milliamp. The only thing I don't love about the Bridge 75 Plus is the FR4 plate. I think that's a lame plate. I don't think that's a premium plate by any stretch of the imagination. But it does look nicer. But yeah, if you're comparing like the base model versus this one, I would pick this one 110%. However, if you do want a screen, this is the only one that comes with a screen. So you are out of luck there. You're going to have to go with the screen version, which is this guy. However, still a pretty good pickup from Yunzi if you're looking for something with this particular aesthetic, with a knob, with a screen. You know, those are its pluses there. Pretty good from Yunzi here. But I do encourage Yunzi and every other brand to please get with the QMK stuff, bro. Just get with it. Some other internal things that I would really recommend in the future for Yunzi is just explore some different ways that the plate tabs work. I did see again with Yunzi going with plate tabs right over here. I think they can be better positioned inside the case. So on the sides would be more preferable. So again, my opinion there, my little, whatever you want to call it, my suggestion is just really work with someone and get some better plate mounting tabs there. It affects the sound profile, it affects the feel. I would even argue that it makes the spacebar less harsh, which kind of negates the effect of even needing a flex PCB in some cases. So, but yeah, I think that's pretty much my summary of this. I enjoyed this. This is nice, but not perfect. I think when I compare this to the last Yunzi board I looked at, I think it's about the same feelings I had. I like the last one a little bit more, but I think I'm able to kind of go a little bit more deeper into criticizing this particular one because there's so many 75s on the market. Return to sender? What happened in it? Best TKL 2025 within 1K? Dude, you want the best TKL right now? I really think the KBD fans Mark 3 or whatever, it's not the best, but I think it's the best bang for your buck if you're going for something a bit more custom. It's fantastic. I really liked mine. Get the CEM plate in particular. The CEM plate is fantastic with that. I think the star of the show, though, guys, this is the star right here, guys. This is the star of the show. KBD fans. Come on, bro. Look at this thing. So nice. So overkill, but damn, bro, I am so into this right now. Like, I need to take photos of this. I need to like get my last 3 Pokemon artisans in there. So I need to find. I think maybe they're somewhere, but I thought I had 3 more. But this is so fucking sick, dude. A high-end TKL? You could wait for Cloudline extras. You could wait for that. I think that's pretty soon, right? That would be the only one that I know that's coming out soon for like high-end. I don't know what else is in stock for high-end right now or anything. So. Alright though, guys. I have a question. Question for you guys. Be honest with me. Do you think that was fair criticism of the Yunzi board? And I think I want to add one last thing about the Yunzi board too. Like, where I kind of feel like it fits in. I feel like if you weren't into the bridge for whatever reason, I think you'd be into this. But I still want to stress at the end of this conversation that I think that the bridge 75 still ends up being slightly better. If you're, well, this is the caveat to this. If you don't care about a screen or a knob, the bridge is what I'd probably pick up. And honestly, even if you cared about a bridge and a knob, or the screen and the knob, I think the bridge was the nicer looking keyboard. Shouldn't say was, it's not like it's gone. Is the nicer looking keyboard. Plus, I think the bridge also has a slightly nicer sound profile with no foam. I shouldn't say slightly. It kind of rocked with no foam. So they also need to add split backspace, step caps, and 7U bottom. Yeah, I mean, that is something I probably should touch on. I kind of tend to not do that with these particular boards, but having some row support too, like different things you can adjust, would also be like absolutely fantastic as well. I agree. It could be. It would be great if they added some extra support for that stuff too, but yeah, not much you can really do there. I think, again, the flex cut PCB is super limiting, and I think some brands need to just let go of the flex cut PCB. But I know that's popular in other regions in the world, so it would mean 2 different SKUs for 2 different parts of the world. So that's just my opinion on that. I think that's not really an objective thing. That's just kind of a subjective thing, depending on what you're into. Why do people don't like flex cuts? If you tend to be someone who doesn't want to use foam, you kind of get stuck using foam, because if you take out all the foam, flex cut PCBs sound really bad. I think everyone can agree that they sound pretty bad with no foam. So, my derivative? Yeah. I think my derivative needs another force brake layer on it. I haven't really used it that much, but sounds perfect. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. What do you guys have planned for the rest of the night tonight? Anyone have any plans? Oh, that looks so good there, dude. I'm so happy with that. That looks sweet. I'm pumped. Sounds great. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Fuck it. Go Sonnet, we ball. Yeah, Sonnet's 3 times the price though, almost. So I don't know about that one. That's a big baller option. Blue Cheese V2s with Seabass. What you think, Goat? Ooh, that would be deep. I'd say go for it, dude. A used Sonnet round 1? Would that even get close to the price point of this? Like, this is good for all in. I think this is a pretty neat premium option with the screen and a knob for all in. 110? And some people were even saying that they see this cheaper on Amazon and stuff for like $89, $99. So if you can find this for under $100, this is a steal, in my opinion. I don't know if I'm going to download any of the programs, and actually I don't even know if the programs even work on Mac, which is another thing I should probably look into as well. But I don't want to download programs to change things on this. Like, I couldn't be arsed, but that's the other negative about this, is you need a program to change the screen. You need to go on VIA to change everything else. They didn't really think that through either. That is something that I can be pretty harsh about too. They need to really think out their flow of how to change these things. You know, if you're going to build a piece of software, just build the damn piece of software. Just ordered my Seabass. Super excited. Just having to wait until the end of Q3, but time will fly. Dude, it's gonna fly, bro. I don't think the summer is gonna last long. I can already tell the summer is gonna be like crazy short, dude. The Bliss Artisan tray, dude, it's so sick. I'm so in love with this thing. Look at this. I'm gonna bring it back. I just kind of want to stare at it, dude. Look at this. Look how nice this is. This is a big chunk of aluminum. It's so crazy. It's so crazy, bro. It's chunky. Could have integrated a USB hub into it. Oh, I guess you could have. You could have. I mean, that could have also been a way to get lights on the inside, too. The price of this is insane. $69 for this giant chunk of aluminum is freaking wild, dude. Wish I had a little LED. Same. 2 birds, 1 bliss. Good lord. RGB artisan tray would be sick, dude. Alright, though, guys. We're going to take off. I'm going to take off now. I'm going to go maybe grab a snack or something. And then, honestly, I might watch the rest of that anime I was watching. I'm watching Shangri-La Frontier. And I got 4 episodes deep the other day. Yesterday, I couldn't watch anything. But I kind of want to go watch it tonight. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm kind of like in the mood to watch it. I love but that means I have to buy artisans? Bro, I know. I get you there. Thanks, Alex. Have a good one. Thank you, DNA. Let's go find someone to raid here. Maybe Marcia's on. Usually when she stops by here, she's usually streaming. Yes, she is. Alright, guys. Time to go raid Marcia and say hello to her. I'm going to see if I can keep science. Although, I'm going to be real. I'm streaming every day this week. I might be burnt the fuck out for the weekend. Although, I probably should be able. I mean, I probably will be able to, but we'll see. Dude, Enthusiast, I know, I'm pumped. I need to go watch the rest of it. I might chain it all night. So, alright there, guys. Enjoy the rest of your nights. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. We're streaming again tomorrow anyways. See you guys very soon, and thanks for stopping by. Love you guys. Bye-bye.